I have Dollop tour dates to announce for the year 2024 of our Lord J-Town. We have our 10th anniversary show coming up in Los Angeles on April 27th. Guests are Karen Kilgariff and James Adomian. And then we are going to Australia, starting on May 13th in Perth, May 16th in Sydney, May 18th in Brisbane, May 20th in Canberra, May 22nd in Melbourne, and May 24th in Adelaide. You can get your tickets at dolloppodcast.com.
Attention all homeowners. This is Advanced Exteriors reminding you not to wait any longer to repair your roof from last year's storms. Your insurance company has a deadline, and missing it could mean missing out on thousands of dollars in benefits. Don't panic. Call Advanced Exteriors today. They're insurance experts that will help you handle your claim start to finish. Schedule your free inspection now and start your insurance claim before it's too late. Visit AdvancedExteriors.com. Remember, there's a backlog, so act fast. Advanced Exteriors providing you peace of mind.
The Dollop is brought to you by electric bikes. Gareth.
Dave, I know.
I love riding a bike. I rode a bike all the time as a kid, and then you just kind of stop doing it as you get older, and now it's bike time again.
Dude, you talk about this electric bike all the time.
I absolutely
You talk
love
about it. You're like, me and my friend, we got this plan. It's honestly... I think it's a problem.
You're listening to the Dollop. And we've changed format a little bit, so let's just let everyone know. This is now a little bit more of a relaxed environment. And
I call it's a cocktail loungy.
Dollop Unplugged. Yeah. And this is kind of a place where friends can get together, have a drink with each other, and just sort of relax and talk about history in a non-slanted, biased way.
Maybe put on a jazz record for a little background music.
We'd recommend maybe lighting up a cigarette, sitting back, taking a Quaalude, and just letting the lazy river take you down for a little while. And if you happen to fall out of your pontoon or your little inner tube, just sink down there and let the water go into your lungs. Just kind of relax and chill out, and husband swapping is welcomed.
Whoa.
And called it, quote, his jam pad.
Jam pad?
I'm the fucking hippo guy!
Dave, okay.
My name's Gary.
My name's Gary.
Wait.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the Tiggly podcast.
Okay.
This is like anarchy!
On a 5-part coefficient.
My room's aflame!
Now hit him with the puppy. You both present sick arguments.
No sleep till hippo!
No sleep till hippo!
Action, partner.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend.
No.
Order in the court!
Go to electricbikes.com to discover e-bikes that start at just $7.99 with an XP Lite.
Buddy.
I'm riding it all over town. I live on a hill, so it's a regular bike is hard. But now with electric bike, I can just zip up the hill.
You're talking about the uphill, because I think traditionally the downhill has... Go ahead.
I'm talking about uphill. It's
exactly
easier on electric
Exactly.
bike.
So we're on the same page, and everyone's doing real good, and we're all on the same page.
And it's not cheating because you're still getting a workout. You can set it to the level that helps you or to get a workout, or you can go all the way with it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go all the way.
Let's not talk about that.
I don't do half measures.
It's very comfortable. Mine folds up, so I can put it in the back of my car, take it somewhere, ride it around. It's really great. I love it. It goes fast. I like fast.
Yeah, no, you say that. You always like to say you live hard.
I live hard. I live fast. I really wasn't sure about electric bike with the whole charging and everything, and like they looked too bulky and big to me. But
you said it gets a great charge.
Yeah, it does. It gets a great charge, and I am at this point loving it. So go full throttle into spring with electric e-bikes, the #1 selling e-bikes in the nation. Get your adventure started at electricbikes.com, and please mention that the Dollop sent you in the post-checkout survey. That's LECTRIC ebikes.com.
So this will be coming out, I think we're still on tour for a couple of days.
Did we do the intro? Is that the intro now? Did we do it?
Oh, you're listening to The Dollop on the All Things Comedy Network.
Yeah, this is
My name's Dave Anthony. This is an American history podcast where each week I read a story to my chill bro.
Scatman Rutabaga.
Scatman Rutabaga.
and who has no idea where this jazz is about to flute.
Right on, bro. Right on, brother.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Hey. So we're going to be on tour. We still have, when this comes out, we will still have a show in Melbourne, the Dollop. Then we'll have a Pastimes the next day. Then we'll have a show in Adelaide, and then we'll have the Pastimes in Sydney, and then I go home, and you stay for a few days because you're doing shows with Will Anderson, correct?
Yeah.
Where are you doing those?
We're doing those at the Comedy Store in Sydney, and then at another venue in Melbourne. You can go to our social media to find out those details. I can't remember what it's called. It's the Carl Room, as they call it.
Oh, the underground.
Yeah.
It's called
Cafe.
Deep. It's called Deep Carl.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not. It's horrible.
October 7th, 1990.
Hey, no.
I thought we'd throw that in on post.
Is this not post?
No.
Oh my
this
God.
is the podcast. We're just doing post.
I thought this was a postcast.
No,
Okay.
no. This is the...
Okay. Sorry.
October 7th, 1996. Fox News is launched. Roger Ailes.
I was just going to say, I can't wait to find out how Roger Ailes folds into. He's just like, if we got a fat evil that's sexually harassing me.
Well, he'd worked on the Nixon campaign. He'd worked for George H.W. Bush. He had worked on a conservative TV show.
What was that?
News show started by Joseph Coors.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
He had resigned as CNBC's business director after calling his rival a, quote, little fucking Jew prick.
Holy shit. Could have done without the little.
He was a, quote, devotee of Hitler's propagandist
Whoa.
Leni Riefenstahl.
Whoa.
So, perfect hire. That's the resume you want when you're starting a news network.
Christ.
Right?
And it's just, I don't think the time is ever right to be like, you know what the Nazis did proper. You know what I've always loved about the Nazis?
So that's who he hires, and Ailes and Rupert wanted to bring conservative radio shock jock
Oh, fuck me.
to TV.
Oh,
so
I thought I was about to hear Rush Limbaugh.
No, they want that energy
Right.
of shock jockey fucking nonsense on TV. Because what's not great about that?
No, I've always loved it. It's really, it's good.
So like a focus on personality over facts.
And short skirts.
Hey, brother.
Truly, though, right? Wasn't there a...
I think that was a thing, yeah.
Yeah, there was like a... He just hired... He was just... I mean, he was a fucking scallop of a human.
Yeah. So I just read every place he had worked, and then I have a hard time with a woman going into this environment thinking she'll be treated with respect. Like, you're going into a conservative, Nazi-loving fucking office, and you think you're going to be treated with respect? He's a fucking Nazi lover.
Well, I mean, look, as you know, I mean, it's kind of the same thing we talked about in the first one, which is just like, you're just gonna, if you want to launch your career, if you need to make money,
You'll do it.
and you need to get yourself on the map, you probably go, all right, well, I'll do 2 years here, and then maybe, think of like,
Maybe.
yeah.
But also they could just be totally down with the message.
Yeah, well, I mean, Megyn Kelly, I mean, all of them basically said that this little fucking...
Yep. So Fox immediately...
Like, he looks like a gross Churchill.
Yeah, he's
which
horrifying.
is saying something.
He's horrifying.
Yes.
Yeah. Fox quickly targets the Clinton administration, focusing on the conspiracy theories.
And it's also fucking crazy that Clinton allows this to basically happen, and then he's got them nipping at him right away. Like, it's so...
Well, 96, I would like to know the exact date of the Telecommunications Act in which he stripped all of the regulations out of telecommunications. But it's right around this time.
Yeah.
The Monica Lewinsky scandal breaks. And
So funny that Roger Ailes was like, that's disgusting!
They just go after it relentlessly. Tabloid internet guy Matt Drudge becomes a host.
It's a real who's who.
Yeah. In 1998, Rupert announced his son, Lachlan, would succeed him, quote, "I'm a great believer in nepotism."
If you're Lachlan, you're like, Dad, don't.
I mean, if you haven't watched the show Succession, you see all of the through lines here. Like,
Completely
it's
based
all
on
100% based on. Like,
96.
they did a really good job of like that year. Rupert and Anna announced they were divorcing. Weeks later, he was dating Wendy Ding, a junior executive at Star TV in Hong Kong. Without telling her, Rupert announced Anna was leaving the News Corp board.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. In 1998, 28-year-old Lachlan married Australian model Sarah O'Hare, and 68-year-old Rupert married Wendy, who was 36.
Oh, fucking A. Yeah, it's just, look, far be it for me to say that, you can't date younger, but there is
some.
Your dad was 43 and he married a fucking 18-year-old. Like that is that's creepy.
That's creepy. At least she's like 36. She's more of an adult. I mean, some people like older dudes or older women. Like it's a thing.
Yeah.
This to me seems like someone making money.
Yeah.
9/11 made Fox News really take off.
The irony.
They started the ticker tape along the bottom. They were the first one. All the other news guys did it. Remember that right after 9/11? It was all ticker tape stuff.
Yeah.
They turned patriotism up to 11.
Well, they became big flaggers.
Yeah, big flaggers.
They were the ones who basically put the flag in the logo.
Yep.
And they made the whole thing was kind of like, it looked like if a flag spelled out Fox.
Yeah.
Like they were doing all that shit, and it was very effective. And it's also, after 9/11, if there was any dissent as to what Bush was doing, it was not supporting troops.
Right.
They made it
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, though.
Can't wait.
So... yeah, it takes off because of that. And Geraldo Rivera, quote, armed himself with a pistol and proclaimed that he would be honored to kill Osama bin Laden.
Oh my God, that guy.
Jackass.
That guy is just...
He's just so fucking stupid.
Yeah, he just would take any job.
It's weird to see Bill Maher slowly turn into him, though. Next year...
I mean... I'm no Bill Maher fan, but Geraldo is bozo. Well, we still have time. Yep. There's still some time, too. There's some time on the clock.
So I love that he had a gun, though. The next year, Fox overtook CNN as the highest-rated cable news channel. Right after September 11, all Murdoch media suggested Saddam Hussein was responsible and that the U.S. should declare war on Iraq. The New York Times dubbed it Mr. Murdoch's War.
Well, but also, again, keeping in mind that the New York Times was where Dick Cheney was planning stories.
Yeah, Karl Rove was like just, that was 100%.
So
I would call it the New York Times War, but whatever.
Yeah.
Fox News was becoming the main profit driver of News Corp. So Lachlan was appointed as New York Post editor, and he purged most of the staff in the paper. The paper's ever purged workers. Quote, veteran editors and columnists, including the paper's one liberal voice, and replaced them with juniors who would be both loyal and enthusiastic and cheap.
It's just... you just see the machinations of all the things of today within that. Like when you talk about like Trump is purging of all these, this is what you fucking do. You just homers. Yeah.
This isn't, people are like, what genius businessman. It's not hard to fucking go in and clean house.
Be a fucking prick.
It's not
be
hard.
Be a prick.
It's not
be
hard.
all about money.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Yeah. No, it's not. What's hard is if you have to do it under like, regulations and things like that,
and keep your people working and figure out how to make a profit.
And happy. If there was like a profit index, it was like a overall worker happy index. Mm-hmm. If we were able to function under something like that, just imagine if you just turned on and it was like, I don't know, but these Apple workers sure are happy. There's another son though.
There's James and Lachlan.
And Lachlan's the only one really working.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
So he purges the staff. They cut the price to drive out drive the other papers out of business.
Monopoly.
They make it more trashy. In 2002, Lachlan was promoted to Deputy Chief Operating Officer of News Corps, which isn't a position. It's just totally...
Yeah, it's like Starfleet.
Yeah. Front page of the Post, September 2002. Quote, Saddam aims to give terrorists briefcase biobombs. And then there's a photo of someone, could be Saddam, holding a metal attache case. Could be biological weapons, I don't know, but it's just a scary image, right? Bill Riley told viewers, according to a poll, quote, 66% of Americans support going into Iraq, even without UN mandates, which is totally the opposite of what the poll showed. The poll showed 37% support.
It's pretty cool.
Making it up as you go along. Now, O'Reilly, in February 2003, said, quote, once the war against Saddam begins, this is what you were talking about, we expect all Americans to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up Americans and indeed our allies who actively work against our military once the war is underway will be considered enemies of the state by me. Who gives a fuck? Just fair warning to you, Barbara Streisand and others who see the world as you do.
It's so amazing.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, but it's also so amazing when they are saying they hate us for our freedom, and then he's espousing things like this, which is the exact opposite. Like all the things that they claim that we need to spread throughout the Middle East at this time is about the freedoms of democracy, and yet he's on there being like, you're not allowed to dissent.
Right. On the eve of the war, Rupert said Bush, quote, can't back down now or he'd be handing the whole of the Middle East to Saddam.
It's so fucking crazy.
It's just so insane. Memos told reporters.
I mean, even Saddam was like, "Thank you, but really, like, I'm not that good at the. I'm not doing that."
Memos told reporters then to keep it positive, emphasize all the good we're doing, and not to write about the number of dead. Do not fall into the easy trap of mourning the loss of U.S. lives and asking out loud why we are there.
Oh, Christ.
So news. So your job.
Journalism.
Your actual...
Journalism.
The journalism thing, yeah.
Ignore journalism.
Doubters return to shreds. Pentagon employees urging caution were, quote, the surrender lobby or defeatists. The Sun called anti-war people traitors. When Bush declared mission accomplished, the Sun wrote, the not in my name crowd and the Starbucks strategists got it hopelessly, ridiculously wrong.
Imagine a time when Starbucks was associated with liberalism.
But it's so, yeah, it's just...
It was the... I mean...
Mission accomplished was hilarious.
Mission accomplished was amazing, and they had Bush in that little flight suit, and he got on there, and I remember very clearly, you know, he had the little like cod piece almost kind of hunched up, and there was coverage where male or female reporters are going like, well, I'll tell you what, it looks a little meaty down there. Like, they were literally just going like, well, look, let's be honest, he's got a big old fucking cock, which is when you're just going like, what are we doing?
It's so crazy.
I'll tell you, it's a real cockpit is George W. Bush's groin. Look at the size of that thing, huh? He's got a real anaconda down there.
Oh, man, our president's got a giant cock.
I'll tell you what, Saddam Hussein better hope that he dies in some sort of silo explosion, because the fate worse than death would be having to suck on Bush's huge cock for a... Look at the size of that, huh? Crikey.
The Australian wrote, the coalition of the whining got it wrong. Oh, by the way, we didn't.
By the way, and it never mattered.
They never acknowledged being wrong about WMDs. They never brought up all the shit they were wrong about.
No.
Around this time, Lachlan leaves News Corps to start an investment firm. He's only got $100 million inherited, so it's hard for him to do that.
What is he like? He must be pretty nervous about taking a chance on himself.
By, yeah. As President Bush's popularity sinks, so does Fox News ratings. Rupert likes to go where he thinks the popular tide is turning, so he wants to back Obama.
Crazy.
Ailes refuses and instead hires Karl Rove, Mike Huckabee, Sarah Palin, Newt Gingrich, Rick Santorum, and John Bolton. But that's on Rupert. You hired a fucking horrific conservative nightmare. What did you think? He's going to back Obama? Like, no. That's why you hired Ailes. So Beck's show debuts the day before Obama's inauguration.
Oh, God. Glenn Beck. Remember when Glenn Beck was the lunatic? Those are the good old
Remember when
days.
Samantha Bee had him on?
No, well, yeah. Remember when that was crazy?
Well, yeah.
And now, like, anyone will have on Tucker Carlson or Alex Jones.
Oh. Ailes to Beck, quote, I see this as the Alamo. If I just had somebody who was willing to sit on the other side of the camera until the last shot is fired, we'd be fine.
It's just crazy.
So they stir up controversies and just nuts conspiracy theories that get attention, which boosts rating and makes them more money. And when the economy dipped 1 week after the election.
The best.
So that's
the best.
2 months before Obama's in office. 1 week after the election.
The O-bubble.
Sean Hannity called it the Obama recession.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
On day 2 of his presidency, Hannity declared socialism has failed.
Oh my God. Sean Hannity is, I mean, they keep lowering the bar, but boy, Sean Hannity's a real fuckwit.
On day 3, Laura Ingraham said, quote, our country is less safe.
Oh my God. Like, it would just be, long term, it would be a wise strategy to just give it 6 months before you start being a fucking buffoon.
Yeah. Glenn Beck called Obama, quote, a racist with a deep-seated hatred for white people. You know what this president is doing right now? He's addicting this country to heroin. The heroin that is government slavery.
What is he even talking about? Literally, what could that even be connected to?
It's absolutely insane.
I just, you gotta love when white people feel when white dudes feel comfortable being like, this man is a racist towards white people.
Yeah.
And we are on the brink of slavery.
Yeah.
It's like, you're in charge of those calls.
Well, 2010, quote, putting the common good first leads to death camps.
Crazy. It's crazy. What are you talking about? How can you even, like, if you saw that and you're like, that's a good first draft, but we can't go with that, obviously.
He called women psychos. He compared himself to an Israeli Nazi hunter. In 18 months after the inauguration, Beck used the word Nazi 202 times, Hitler 147, and fascism 193. This all led to advertising boycotts and viewers bailing, and then Beck was fired in April of 2011. So he lasted, what, 5 years? No, 3 years.
But going through it in real time, you were starting to go, wow, it's like keeps getting worse over there. Yeah. And then they would replace the worse with like, we're trying to be this, but then everyone gets, I mean, I guess now it's, I mean, Sean Hannity's still in the fucking hair, right?
Yeah, they're all, it's all terrible. Rupert and Wendy have 2 daughters now, and they suggest
he must have been furious.
They should have a share of the family fortune.
The 2 daughters who are children.
Yeah. But the other 4 kids do not agree. And so they block it somehow. Rupert wants to move News Corps headquarters to Delaware from Adelaide.
Can you, he fucking was like, what, is there an Adelaide in America? Delaware.
Delaware has low taxes. It's business-friendly laws. It's the credit card state.
Right. Joe Biden town.
Yeah, and it's a state where, quote, extreme corporate secrecy enables corrupt people, shady companies, drug traffickers, embezzlers, and fraudsters to cover their tracks when shifting dirty money from one place to another.
Jesus.
I'll never forget in the 2016 election when it came out that both Hillary and Trump had their companies in the exact same building in Delaware. So this all leads to... it's just so fucking nuts. Rupert tells investors he's not going to take advantage of those like lax bullshit things in Delaware and these laws, and especially ones that allow the family to acquire super voting shares.
Well, I mean, every time he said they're not going to do something, he's held to that.
That's exactly what they did. So it secures more power for the Murdochs. He buys the Wall Street Journal for $50 billion in 2007, promising editorial independence. Again, doesn't happen.
I mean, and the Wall Street Journal was like, I mean, again, it all like is eroding as time goes on, but it was considered to be. I mean, these papers were considered at one point to be like actually important.
Yeah, legitimate news sources.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now they're just titles.
I mean, the Wall Street Journal would always have a conservative slant, but it was still like, a news source.
It wasn't like.
Now it's just crazy.
Although I do love to see tits on page 3.
Okay. That's upsetting.
I love that.
In England, in August 2006, 2 News of the World employees, reporter Clive Goodman and private investigator Glenn Mulclare, were arrested for intercepting voicemail messages and hacking phones.
Oh, right.
The World ran an innocuous story about Prince William hurting his knee, but William's people realized there's no way they could have gotten that information legally. And the police discovered the men had tapped William's phone.
Crazy.
They plead guilty and they're sentenced to prison in 2007. Then editor Andy Coulson resigns. Then he goes to work for Tory leader David Cameron. But that's just
fine.
That's fine.
It's fine.
That's fine.
By the way, the best part about David Cameron is how he put his dick in a pig.
Yeah. The company said Goodman was a rogue reporter. But in court, 5 other hacking victims came up. None were the royal family, which is his beat. So that sets off some flags. The Guardian starts doing some digging, and in 2009, The Guardian reports at least 3 hacking victims were paid hush money that totaled £1.3 million. And that the phone hacking was rife at News of the World. The cops say, well, there's no need to investigate because anyone who's been affected has already been informed.
Okay.
Which is,
for the public good, though.
Don't worry about the crimes. We told the people.
They've been paid.
Gareth, we are also brought to you by Helix. Helix
best.
Sleep, buddy. It is the bed of the past and the future. It's a magical bed.
It's the bed of kings, queens, and gods.
Both of us sleep on Helix's.
Yep.
It's a magical.
We sleep on the Dux Lux.
The Dusk Lux?
The Dusk Lux.
Some people say it better.
Well, they're German.
I've been sleeping on mine for it's got like 7 years now. We've had Helix mattresses.
Yep, and when my mother stays with me, she sleeps on the Helix, and she is, every morning I go, "How'd you sleep?" And she goes, "Like a log."
Yeah, my son has one. He loves his.
Yep.
Me and the wife have one. And my sleep it's just better. Before my previous bed, I got like little lower backaches. Not anymore.
Well, and you go and you take a quiz, and then it's like, this is the bed you want. And it's right.
It is right. So we highly recommend it. They ship it straight to you. You open up a box, it comes out.
Guy comes out with it.
Yeah, it's good. Well, there's no guy in the box.
Mine had a guy in it.
Okay.
Mine had a guy in it, and he's still... You don't have a Hector?
Nope.
Huh.
No, I don't. That sounds like nothing to do with Helix.
He said he was...
That's wrong.
Accredited.
You should call the police.
Oh, boy.
So I'd recommend a Helix mattress.
I'm going to go make 2 phone calls. You finish this. I'm going to go make 2 phone calls.
Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners.
Hector, it's Gareth.
Go to helixsleep.com/dollop. That's helixsleep.com/dollop.
Really associated with Helix? Because I'm hearing a lot of mixed stuff over here while we're doing an ad.
This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Email me that if you can.
The Dollop is also brought to you by Squarespace.
Dave, don't even play. Don't even play with me now.
We, as everybody knows, are deep in the Squarespace.
Your website, our website, my website, source page.
All of it.
All of our every website we have an association with is Squarespace.
And we're forcing other people to change theirs.
And if you don't have a website, we are forcing you to make one.
You will.
Everyone will have a website, and it will be done through Squarespace.
Correct.
This is not a negotiation.
You are doing what the Dollop wants, and the Dollop wants Squarespace everywhere now.
Jeez, it's just like the people don't get it.
They don't get it, and it's getting serious.
Yeah, it really is. We're kind of done with the BS.
Yeah.
But it's so user-friendly.
Very user-friendly.
And if I have a website, you know it's user-friendly.
Yes.
You are
yes.
That's not that funny.
You're
you can do merch. You can...
Custom merch.
Custom
you can
merch.
easily sell custom merch and create a
which we're
passive
about to
income
start
stream.
doing as well.
Yep, we're going to do that on Squarespace. You can have an online store. You can sell your products there. You can, whether physical, digital, service products, Squarespace has got everything you need to do that.
Yep.
And you can have an asset library, Gareth.
Yep. They got a taco bar. Just go to Squarespace.
That's not the same thing. You upload, you organize, you can access all your content from one place. It's the new asset library. You're able to manage all your files in one central hub, use them across the whole Squarespace platform.
Yep.
That's what you meant, right?
Yeah, you can have a quinceañera via this product.
Don't listen to him. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/dollop to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Just go do it.
Gareth, we are also brought to you by Penrose First Leaf. This is a big time of year, Gareth. It's a time for renewal. It's a time for a new you, a new me. That means you reconnect with friends, family, people you haven't seen in a while.
Why are you crying?
And when I do that, I make sure that I have plenty of wine on hand for us to celebrate. That's why I have First Leaf, Gareth.
Dave, you know how much I love wine. Mm-hmm. I love wine. I love wine.
So much so that I put it on you last night.
Yeah, that's actually true. We celebrated. We had an old-fashioned wine shirt. But I also, I think I don't know what wine I really like. Like, I've never thought about it like that.
Right.
And then you go through and you take a quiz, a survey, and they're basically asking you, like, what do you like this flavor? Do you like this flavor? What kinds do you... And then they send you a box.
Catered box.
A catered box where you go, oh my God, this is what... Now I know what wine I like.
Yeah, these are the wines I like, as opposed to, like, randomly walking around a store and going, I guess oak sounds good.
Yeah, and the guy's like, that's vermouth.
So yeah, you have your own very own wine concierge. You can curate and customize the wine.
They ship it to your house,
and it's great. It's really good. The boxes, we've gotten 2 now. They're delicious.
Yep, it is great.
Yeah, really like them. And then every single selection is backed by First Leaf's 100% guarantee.
And I back it with my Gareth tea. So that is 2
not helpful.
Airtight promises.
Not helpful.
Well,
if you have any questions, like what to pair it with, stuff like that, First Leaf's personal wine concierge, they're right there to offer you expert advice.
Yep.
So I love reconnecting with friends and family over bottles of First Leaf wine, and I bet you feel that way too. So give First Leaf a try. Head over to firstleaf.com/dollop to sign up and save 50% on your first 6 hand-curated bottles plus free shipping. That's TRYFIRSTLEAF.com/dollop to save 50% on your first 6 bottles plus free shipping. Try firstleaf.com/dollop.
Go do it.
Do it.
Like we always say, why not?
We don't.
You see a family SUV. We see a support system for more than 960 wildlife species. Because when you get the $29 Keep Colorado Wild Pass, you help fund wildlife conservation and educational programs across the state. Get your Keep Colorado Wild Pass with your next vehicle registration. It's more than a state parks pass. It's nature's BFF. Learn more at cpw.info/Keep Colorado Wild.
Head of News International UK, Rebecca Brooks, also a good friend of David Cameron, said it was all unsubstantiated and false, and then she accused The Guardian of lying.
Wow.
And then the Press Complaints Commission, which is run by the press, concluded The Guardian had exaggerated.
Wow.
The Guardian editor said the inaction and closing of ranks was, quote, fascinating in what it said about Britain and the settlement of so many people in public life had made over 2 generations or more with Rupert Murdoch.
Ugh.
In October 2010, Rupert tells shareholders, quote, "There was an incident more than 5 years ago. He was immediately fired, and in fact, he subsequently went to jail. We challenged people to give us evidence, and no one has been able to." So there you go. No one's ever been able to give him evidence. So what's the Guardian reporter?
Do you think he's ever had someone killed?
Murdoch?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Guardian reporter Nick Davies had found Glenn Mulclair, who's the PI, had 4,332 names and 3,000 phone numbers.
Wow. Holy fuck.
Civil litigants are stacking up. Actor Sienna Miller reveals the name of the journalist who paid McClare to hack her voicemail. So they like hacked her voicemail, and her and Jude Law were in a relationship, and like for a year. It was like a nightmare, total nightmare. The World's news editor is then suspended. They admitted harassing Miller and hacking her phone for 12 months, and the police now finally open an investigation. It reveals corruption. Turns out cops got $100,000, £1,000 in bribes.
Makes sense that they wouldn't think an investigation was important.
Yeah. June 30th, 2011, the Tory government, under David Cameron, said it would wave through a deal for News Corp to increase its share of B-Sky-B from 39,000 to 100,000. So all this shit is going on, and they're
like, let him be more powerful.
Yeah, let him be more powerful.
Yeah, I mean, you have no leg to stand on as far as, I mean, it's right out in the fucking open.
Yeah. 6 days later, Davies reported News of the World hacked the phone of a murdered child, possibly interfering with the police investigation. That causes a furor. Ads are pulled. 2 days later, James Murdoch emails staff to say the paper is closing down. They were a, quote, toxic brand. The final edition has no ads.
Wow.
And they said all proceeds from sales would go to charities, but no charity would take the money.
Oh, that's amazing. Christ, that's amazing. God damn, that's so fucking... It's like the fact that they're closing it down because it's a brand versus like we are reprehensible.
We're awful. We're terrible. We got to close down.
We can't do that. We're out of control.
We are shitty.
We are not okay. There's no morals.
A friend told Rupert to donate £200,000 to save the children, and Rupert said, quote, "What? All those Africans?"
Oh yeah. Ouch.
Now, over 30,000 people signed a petition opposing Rupert buying out B-Sky-B, and the government backed off the deal.
Oh, wow. I'm sure this plays out where he gets it.
Well, yeah, so Rupert now flies to London to try to save the deal and also help with the PR nightmare that is happening.
Sure, yeah, put your face in front of this. That's really what the movement needs.
Rebecca Brooks resigns and was arrested.
Oh, shit.
Right after she's arrested, she has an hour-long phone conversation with Tony Blair, who offered to be her unofficial advisor.
That's disgusting. Just
Again,
disgusting.
that's labor. Now we're talking about the guys that are supposed to be helping.
Well, by the way, you want to talk about credibility. I mean, Tony Blair during the George W. Bush Iraq thing, whatever credibility that guy supposedly had was...
Yeah. Tony Blair offers to be her unofficial advisor. News International ran full-page ads apologizing, and Rupert and James visited Millie Dowler's parents to apologize. So they go to the murdered kids' parents to apologize, and how they didn't kick them in the face.
Yeah.
When Rupert appears at a parliamentary committee investigating the scandal, he said it was, quote, "the most humble day of my life." But he clearly told by PR people to say that, be contrite.
Well, let's be honest. It very well could be, but that says a lot about the life he's led as well.
Yeah. He's contrite, he's meek, but he denies responsibility, and he has a lot of memory lapses.
That's the other fucking thing with these people.
They can never remember.
These motherfuckers are on top of everything until it's time to reveal what they know.
I mean, it's just so great. So he's got a lot of memory lapses, and someone tries, at some point, someone tried to throw a pie in his face, but Wendy Murdoch blocked it and slapped the person. Both Rupert and James say they didn't know.
It's the first time he's ever been blocked from doing stuff. There's something there. But
Both Rupert and James said they didn't know about the payout to the first hacking victim, but that means an editor would have been able to greenlight a £1 million payment, which is absolutely fucking bullshit.
Way. Yeah.
By late 2012, 90 people have been arrested and 72 civil claims paid.
Wow. So fully
Admittedly, a criminal enterprise.
Yes.
James and Rupert testimonies of no knowledge were contradicted by a lot of people. In May 2012, the majority of the parliamentary committee concluded Rupert was, quote, not a fit person to exercise stewardship of a major international company.
What took you so fucking long? I mean, come on.
It's insane. And he and James knew about the rogue reporter defense was false, and James showed willful ignorance. And then after that, Rupert blamed a News Corps lawyer for everything. The inquiry went on for 9 months. There were 337 witnesses. It looked how the press treated the public, relationships between the press and the police, and the media and politicians. Rupert testified for 2 days. He's vague, forgetful about his role, but he has a good memory when he's blaming other people.
Right.
Also, it all comes together for that.
Yeah.
Witness and actor Steve Coogan compared News Corps to a protection racket, using negative coverage, quote, as a weapon against those who get in its way. Be nasty to us, and you will feel our wrath. Historian Tony Garton-Ash said the inquiry demonstrated that, quote, politicians, spin doctors, PR men, public figures, and now it emerges, even senior police officers said to themselves, don't take on Murdoch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you let him get so goddamn powerful that it's like, well,
Right.
you know, I mean...
Think about all the media he owns and what he can do to you.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
like
you
any
should,
person.
Well,
Any
yeah, I mean,
person.
we deal with that. We deal with that now. I mean, where you have a government and the people that actually run the government are far too powerful, so you should be fearful of them. If you fucking rattle that cage too much, you're going to be behind it.
Absolutely. The report was 2,000 pages. It recommended replacing the Press Complaints Commission with an independent body that could impose fines.
Yeah, great.
And demand corrections.
Let me guess. No.
David Cameron rejected the recommendations.
I mean, this guy was such a prick.
Yeah. His ministers met with News Corps execs more than any media organization. Some Tory MPs worked at News Corps. One made $60,000.
So your options are the party that works for News Corps or the party that won't bust News Corps.
Right. £60,000 to write for the Times, and another was paid £195 for a column in the News of the World while they were MPs. Any politician who criticized the phone hacking scandal or journalists reporting on it were
in the crosshairs.
Told that their betrayal would, quote, not be forgotten by News Corps.
Yeah.
News Corps spied on members of the investigating parliamentary committee, hoping to find something to blackmail them with. One Labour MP, quote, my neighbor caught people rummaging through my bins and rustling through papers in my garbage. He got one of them in a headlock and demanded to know what he was doing, and the person told him he was working for the Sun.
Well, can we just, for a minute, take our hat off to the greatest neighbor of all time? Everyone deserves a neighbor like this.
Yeah.
Who will fucking throw someone in a headlock for a confession?
Headlock Jimmy? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, your neighbor is just like, well, they've come around and I fucking jammed him in my gave him a fucking half Nelson, I have. I said, who you fucking work for? He said, oh, I work for number. So I start smashing the fucking bin on his cranium over and over again till he fucking lets see. He goes, I work for News Corps, let me go. So that's what you're fucking dealing with. By the way, you're putting glass in your plastics.
Yeah, that's why I'm voting for Brexit.
You're not it's not. Oh, come on.
Before the 2012 News Corps...
I've done that to another, and he was your binman. I messed up. I said, who you work for? He goes, the bloody city, mate. I said, yeah, tell me. You stay out of his fucking rubbish.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, well, listen. Yeah, I'm just protecting you, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean,
Seen a woman sneaking into your apartment the other day.
That was me. Listen, you need to get a job.
Fucking smashed her face into that fucking door.
Have you been to...
I said, what are you doing? I said to her, I said, you mind your fucking business, Lassie.
Are you sending out resumes and stuff, just looking for a job at all?
Well, I don't know. I've got a full-time security gig now, haven't I?
Well, you're not getting paid.
By the way, I seen a tiny little jockey in your place the other day, playing with blocks and Legos and things like that.
That's my son.
Oh, fucking shove him hard right through his block. I said, what are you doing? You stay out there. This is Grant's house, I said.
Crying. Well, that's why we're getting the restraining order.
You know, this bloke tried to drop off a fucking restraining order the other day.
Yeah.
I fucking put a knife through his chest. I said,
what?
you mind your bit. I said, who you work for?
We worked for the government.
He says what he said. I said, you get out of here. I said, use this Grant's property.
You
leave him alone. I put him in the bin. So, yeah, no, mate, I'm not going to let anyone mess with you, mate. You're fine now.
I'm mostly concerned about you.
No, you've got... Well, the other day...
No.
Right? I was thinking I'll go have a rummage around your place because you seem a little bit off.
You can't be rummaging around.
I see myself in the mirror and I throw myself right into it. I said, what are you doing?
That's what happened to my
Turns
mirror.
out it was me. I was behind the whole I was fucking...
Have you thought about slitting your own throat?
I tried. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's very difficult.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's why...
You jump off a bridge or a
Well,
building?
I cut a hole in the sheet and I put my arm through it and I started stabbing myself. And I said, who are you? No, it's been absolute madness. It's not been going all right, mate. Yeah, I'm absolutely... I don't like the way you're looking at me right now.
Yeah, I'm upset. Everybody's scared of you.
So you're telling me you're crossing yourself? I just have to take care of this, haven't I?
No.
Worried you're turning on you.
Before the 2012 News Corps general meeting, Rupert tweeted, quote, any shareholders with complaints should take profits and sell. In public, he showed contrition about the hacking, but in a recorded conversation with The Sun reporters, he said they were, quote, picked on by the establishment and the left-wing get-even crowd, and the inquiry was over next to nothing.
But how fucking hysterical is it that he now owns so much media that his own paper's employees are holding a press conference with him about what he's done?
I mean...
It's like,
that wasn't a press conference. He was just talking to them at a meeting.
But not for the paper?
No.
Oh, okay, right.
No, just him talking
Off
about the paper with his people.
Right.
In 2012, Rupert's mother died. His marriage has started to fall apart, partly due to rumors that she was having affairs. Wendy.
Right.
With Tony Blair was the main one.
That she was fucking Tony Blair?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
She would like say...
If you lose a woman to Tony Blair...
she would like say, I'm going to the Carmel Ranch with my friend Cindy, and then Cindy would just bail, and Tony Blair would roll in and stay there for 2 days.
Ugh.
But you can't hide it because Tony Blair comes with guards and all this other shit.
Yeah.
And people know he's missing or whatever.
Plus he probably leaves moles on anyone he's with.
Moles, yeah.
Good.
So
imagine you're cheating with Tony Blair.
Well, people like leaders. Ugh. She's definitely got a powerful man thing.
Yeah,
she's
but
into that.
you can do better than him. Mind if I slip into something a little more comfortable?
Yeah, don't.
Please.
No. Rupert interviewed staff who told him things like that she'd go to the ranch with a friend. So he interviewed all his staff.
I mean, this guy just was hacking phones. He should be able to find out if she's fucking someone else.
He also apparently Eric Schmidt. Rupert files for divorce in New York without telling Wendy or asking her anything about the rumors because he had done his own investigation.
Sure.
News Corps now divides into two. There is the Fox, there's New News Corps, which has newspapers, publishing, there's some Australian assets, 21st Century Fox, which owns Fox TV and film, and Rupert would be executive chairman of News Corps.
What's he, 106 now?
He's pretty fucking old. The family owns about 40% of each. So Fox News was shocked when Obama won in 2012. They couldn't believe it. It was the most obvious thing ever that he was going to win. Like, it wasn't even...
Well, remember they were doing the whole... I think it was. It was when Karl Rove... whatever. But Karl Rove was like confident there was some bait and switch going on, and that he was like, trust me.
Yeah. Viewership was half in 2013 when it was in 2009, and so Rupert asked Lachlan to return.
Okay.
In 2014, he became non-executive co-chairman of News.
His titles are getting insane.
It's just totally made up. It's just it's not a thing. James gets an equally vague role at Fox.
Right.
They're each making $20 million a year.
Right.
A friend said Lachlan said his time in Australia gave him a positive appreciation of egalitarianism and a suspicion of elites.
You can't. Fuck you.
And then Lachlan bought a $12.5 million non-elite mansion in Santa Monica.
But I mean, imagine living your whole life as Rupert Murdoch's son.
Yeah. And then being mad
and
at
then
elites.
being like, look, I'm honestly a little skeptical of these people who grow up with money. Skeptical of elites.
2014 was the 50th anniversary of the Australian paper. Prime Minister Tony Abbott called it the, quote, greatest newspaper in the English-speaking world. No institution, no university has so consistently and so successfully captured and refined the way we think about ourselves.
In an awful way. Why don't you go ahead and say your favorite Abbott fact real quick?
Well, that he ate an onion like an apple.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's who we're dealing with.
The paper would turn against him a year later.
Good.
Now Rupert starts dating Jerry Hall. He's 84, she's 59.
Ugh.
So that's so much better. I mean, that's only 26 years.
I find it to be horrifying.
Well, 84 is like...
84?
They married a couple months later.
It's horrifying. What does he even do? I mean, is his...
Are you talking about his penis?
I'm about to. May I?
I mean, he probably takes Viagra so he can bang away. But he's just rich, dude. I mean, that's really all it is.
Yeah, but like for him, it's like it's
ungodly money.
Yeah, her too. I mean, she was with Mick Jagger.
I know. What a fucking fall.
Talk about a downgrade.
Yeah, Jesus. In 2015, Donald Trump announced he was running for president. Ailes had given him a weekly slot on Fox and Friends where he ranted about Obama birtherism, conspiracies, and was a political pundit.
It's honestly like adorable looking back on it. That it was like there was a time when we were just like, oh, you lunatic, you get an NBC show.
Rupert doesn't like Trump. He found him embarrassing. I mean, yeah, that's the normal reaction.
No shit.
But Fox News created an audience for Trump. He boosted their ratings. By 2016, after Rupert had meetings with him, the Post endorsed Trump. The Sun massively pushed Brexit also. Rupert has always been skeptical of United Europe. Oh, we're not going to go into Brexit because it's so much, but huge factor in the Brexit disaster. Huge factor. In July...
Same with David Cameron.
Yep. In July 2016, Gretchen Carlson filed a sexual harassment suit against Roger Ailes. She recorded conversations where Ailes said, quote, you and I should have had a sexual relationship a long time ago, and then you'd be good and better, and I'd be good and better. Boy, you know, that a sweet-talking lady.
Your pitch, if you're good, look, nobody's co-signing the sexual harassing, but if you're going to do it, let's get a better elevator pitch going.
Yeah, a lot better.
You'd be doing really good, and I'd be doing really good if you just let me fuck you.
James and Lachlan hired a law firm to investigate, and they publicly backed Ailes. But several Fox News hosts backed Ailes also. Then Megyn Kelly told Lachlan she had been harassed by Ailes, and Ailes got a $40 million severance payout, but was kept on as a consultant.
And then this, just to be clear, is the punishment.
Yes. Rupert took over as interim chairman. Then Trump wins, and the Murdoch machine goes into Trump mode, pushing the culture wars. Megyn Kelly, Rupert Murdoch handpicks Tucker Carlson for the primetime slot. More lawsuits come. 20 employees allege racial discrimination. If you can believe that.
I'm
Just shocked. Then
I wasn't blonde enough.
Then there's a ton of sexual harassment allegations against Bill O'Reilly. But Rupert had already offered O'Reilly $100 million for 4 years. Advertisers are then targeted by activists, and they finally have to fire O'Reilly. But remember, they really tried to hang him there. Like, that went on for a long time where it was just like, no, dude, the loofah.
The loofah was a big problem. The loofah ended up getting a show on Fox News.
So when O'Reilly's fired, Tucker gets promoted again.
That's what's kind of fucking incredible about its little ecosystem is that it really is. It is you're fully replaceable because the machine behind it just seems to function so.
It does. So
well.
They can get rid of every single one.
Get rid of Tucker. You got Jesse Waters. It's kind of never ending.
As soon as Tucker was fired, I was like, it's Jesse Walters because I can't think of a more evil human being.
Oh, he is.
Fox News, Trump's biggest cheerleader, obviously. They support the Muslim ban, promoting the conspiracy theory that Dem staffer Seth Rich was murdered by the Clintons. The Rich family sues, and they settle out of court. By late 2017, Rupert was talking to Jared Kushner at least weekly, but sometimes daily.
Yeah.
Trump gave 2/3 of his interviews to Fox, and Fox and Friends knew when they spoke on air they were talking directly to the president.
Oh, and
just like Morning Joe right now.
Complete. You know, I love my Morning Joe.
Yeah.
Watch it maybe twice a week, and boy, oh boy, that is a nightmare. But the Trump calling into Fox and Friends was always incredible.
Incredible.
Because they would be like, are you sure? And he'd be like, everybody is talking about... It was like 5:15 in the morning, and he would just be up like freshly dumped. Just like sitting there just espousing the craziest shit. There's no whales in the ocean, and everyone knows if they were land-based, they'd be voting. And they were like, wow, that's really interesting, Mr. President. There's 2 Joe Bidens, one's a robot.
So Rupert meets with Disney CEO Bob Iger and suggests Disney buy 20th Century Fox to compete with the streamers that are coming out. So Disney buys Fox for $70 billion, but not Fox News or Fox Sports or
20th
the lot at Century City.
Right.
Those are all going to remain with the Fox Entertainment Company, so they get everything else. In 2018, Fox went hard supporting probably rapist and SCOTUS nominee Brett Kavanaugh, and they started warning of a caravan, an invading horde from South America.
Whatever happened to that caravan?
It dispersed. Feels
like the
it went, turned around, and then it went across into the ocean, and then...
It feels like it was so...
Yeah, that was it.
Big.
Yeah, it was going to really destroy us. But then there were winds and stuff that drove it off course.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very strange.
There'll be another one.
Oh, I bet you there will be. It's like the Scooby Gang.
I guess they were going to steal white women or babies or something.
Sure.
A Nazi shot up the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh, believing Jews were behind the migrant caravan. He, quote, repeatedly posted an image from a Fox News report that showed a truck emblazoned with a Star of David helping to transport asylum seekers.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ.
That's so they can blame Soros for everything. Lachlan said, quote, we've come to this point where we are more and more intolerant of each other, and frankly, that has to change.
Well, who the fucking... Like, a man with a smoking gun that just shot someone in the chest, and he's like, we need to stop shooting each other.
I guarantee you he believes it. He's like, the left just keep attacking us, and you're like, bro. Media Matters published leaked messages from a white supremacist chat group celebrating Tucker Carlson for doing more for their cause than anyone else. Media Matters also dropped old recordings of Tucker being racist and talking disgustingly about a Miss Teen contestant. Tucker said Fox backed him. Shepard Smith was fired for disagreeing with Tucker on air. Rupert, quote, if he doesn't want to work here, he shouldn't work here. We'll replace him and get better earnings.
And then what happened? Shepard Smith, who forever was on Fox News delivering their fucking bullshit, then, you know, the CNN, MSNBCs were like, he was the best.
Yeah, but he's off the air now. He's not.
But he had a CNBC show for a little while.
Yeah, he went down the chain and then was gone.
Yeah, but for a while they were like, come into our, like the way that they have that MSNBC is now like fully staffed with George W. Bush people.
At News Corp, at another News Corp general shareholder meetings, Rupert told shareholders, quote, there are no climate change deniers around, I can assure you. A British think tank describes Sky News Australia as, quote, a key global content hub for climate misinformation, a ground zero for climate science agnostics around the world.
Yeah.
Sky News has an outsized influence on YouTube where clips denying climate change and COVID go viral.
Feels good.
It does feel good.
It all feels really warm inside.
Well, then you're going to like this. COVID starts, and Fox News hosts downplay it, except for Carlson, who blamed it on the repulsive Chinese for eating dogs and bats from wet markets.
So it's nice to have a rational voice on the network to sort of balance it out. Yeah, it was the dog eaters.
Through February and March, Fox said the left was trying to politicize the virus, and it was a plot by China and or North Korea and an attempt to take down Trump. Not real, it's also going to take down. But after the WHO declared an emergency, Fox decided to be a public health campaign champion, hosting fundraisers and donating money. But a Harvard public health expert already confirmed that, quote, people would die as a result of the misinformation on Fox in those early weeks. In April, 74 journalism academics and reporters signed an open letter to the Murdochs calling Fox News coverage, quote, a danger to public health and to the health of its viewers, whose average age was 65. Now, Fox News is very proud of its 2020 election coverage.
As they should be.
They had a polling consultant who often predicted correct outcomes before all their rivals. And he called Arizona for the Democrats early in the night, which upset the on-air presenters who said, quote, what the hell is happening here? Why is Arizona blue?
So funny.
Trump's campaign furiously tweeting it's too early to call Arizona. Kushner calls Rupert to ask him to reverse it. But their polling consultant is like, no, it's real. That's what it is. Soon after, Trump says it's a lie and refuses to concede. Journalist Michael Wolff claims before the Arizona call was made that Lachlan called Rupert to check to see if they should announce it. And Rupert agreed, saying about Trump, quote, fuck him. Conservatives were furious at Fox for reporting the facts.
Reality, yeah.
Reality.
What are you doing? You're Fox.
So Fox now has to win back their base because they told the truth and they couldn't handle it. So Media Matters reports that Fox News, quote, cast doubt on the election results at least 774 times. So all that is because they made the call that night and then had to get their people.
And it worked.
Internal memos told reporters not to refer to Biden as president-elect. On air, Trump lawyer Sidney Powell made accusations of a massive coordinated effort to steal the election. Asked about irregularities in Dominion voting machines, Powell said, quote, that's where the fraud took place, where they were flipping votes in the computer system or adding votes that did not exist. Giuliani then tweeted Dominion was a front for Smartmatic and the truth will all come out.
Can we just talk and just take our hats off to the Giuliani phase here, where he was. Good. There was a few months there where the man was on fire. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's holding press conferences in landscaping parking lots. He's sticking to it. Yep. He's sweating hair dye. Yep. He's shitting his pants in meetings.
It's incredible.
He and him going on.
Does not make any sense.
And the thing where he's saying that this woman hands her daughter a mint.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, they're handing each other a USB drive. I mean, the whole thing is so out in the open.
Yeah, it was tremendous. Lou Dobbs had Giuliani on his show to expand on the conspiracy theory.
Those two.
Dominion sends a legal letter to Fox,
Right.
laying out the defamatory remarks made and suggesting they stop making them.
Right.
Trump is shit-talking on Fox. Trump is shit-talking Fox. And now he starts promoting One American News and Newsmax,
Right.
the competitors.
Which
to the
make
right.
Fox seem like a rational channel.
No, it's like my crazy uncle's news.
Yeah.
But he gave Fox's Sunday Morning Future Show his first on-air interview after the election. Smartmatics now sends a legal letter to Fox, and they're like, hey, stop this shit. Dominion sends a second letter saying, hey, after we sent you the first letter to stop and retract, you kept doing it. And Dominion employees are now getting death threats. Fox does not respond to the letter. Dobbs calls the 2020 election a cyber Pearl Harbor and an electoral 9/11. A cyber Pearl Harbor? I can't.
Cyber? What is he even trying to say with that?
An electoral 9/11.
What is a cyber Pearl Harbor?
I mean, Pearl Harbor was just the beginning of a war. I mean, maybe that's what he
So was
means.
9/11, really, but it was like,
That doesn't make sense, Roy.
it makes sense. It's just two acts of terrorism.
Big things he knows about.
Yes,
Big.
kind of. They're like buzzwords.
Fox ratings drop. They come second to CNN for the first time since 2001. Some Newsmax shows are beating them. On January 6th, I remember sometimes the numbers would come out and it would just be like, holy shit, so low.
Those Newsmax
Like
OAN,
terrible.
it's upsetting.
On January 6th, Fox News hosts tried to cast doubt about the mob storming the Capitol, saying they could be the radical left or Antifa. But Hannity, Ingram, and Kilmeade, he's the Fox and Friends
Brian
guy.
Kilmeade, yeah. He's an empty-headed fucking idiot.
They're at that time texting Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, telling him Trump needs to speak to the crowd and send them home. So they're on air saying the opposite of what they're saying in text. In 2021, Rupert returns to the U.S. to take a hands-on role at Fox as the ratings kept sliding. The change was more opinion over actual news. People who defended the election night decision to call Arizona were fired.
He said, fuck him.
Rupert did it! So fucking... Smartmatic filed a $2.7 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox News, Lou Dobbs, Maria Bartiromo, and Janine Pirro. That woman's a fucking demon.
Janine Pirro is Judge Janine Pirro.
She's a demon.
She is just like...
She's like pure Nazi.
Truly.
Like
basically like if a scotch and soda was racist.
Also, Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. A month later...
Don't forget Mike Lindell.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. the My Pillow guy who sank his own pillow.
Yeah. A month later...
I mean, he was just a guy who made a pillow.
Well, he wasn't, because he was also
he was a
recovering crack addict.
Yes,
Let's just say he doesn't seem sober.
No, it doesn't seem sober, but still.
Yeah.
When you want to talk about, like, you hit the fucking life lottery by making a pillow.
You made a pillow. You made millions from a pillow.
Millions
Walk
from
away.
a pillow. Just go away. Your life is good. You don't need to worry about America anymore.
No.
Go invent your own country.
Yeah.
Do pillow stand.
100%.
But instead, he's just like, people like, you know what? I'm just not going to buy this guy's fucking pillow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's toast. A month later, Dominion files a $1.6 billion lawsuit. Dominion listed Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, the CEO, the president, Rupert and Lachlan. Fox is now trying to woo back conservatives. Tucker goes full white supremacist. Because they're trying to... Because, I mean, if people haven't seen the other channels, One and Newsmax, they are fucking crazy.
Nuts.
Crazy. Yeah, so Tucker's full white supremacist. Quote, I know that the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement. If you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But that's what's happening actually. I mean, everyone wants to make a racial issue out of it. Oh, you know, the white replacement theory? No. This is a voting rights question. It's just purely anti-Semitic, racist, fucking nightmare shit.
Nutsy.
The Anti-Defamation League calls for Tucker Carlson to be fired. Quote, someone needs to remind the Murdochs they pay Tucker. They're allowed to sanction him, but it doesn't seem to ever happen. I mean, Tucker Carlson is just pure white supremacist at this point. Lachlan wrote to the ADL saying he respectfully disagreed that Tucker Carlson's segment was promoting the Great Replacement Theory. Months later, Carlson promoted the Great Replacement Theory again, even more explicitly. In March 2002, Lachlan launched a new Centre for the Australian Way of Life to defend Christianity and capitalism with ex-Prime Minister Tony Abbott and the director of Australia's most right-wing think tank. So so if you don't know what's going on with America, the Heritage Foundation is a think tank, which basically is the thing that has created fascism in America. That's where it all comes from. It's the center heartbeat. That's what they're doing to you. If you're in Australia, this is going to be the fascist heartbeat. Yeah. Lachlan and Abbott's speeches at the launch were published across News Corp media outlets, but mocked in a lot of other media. Imagine mocking the right wing and then it doesn't work out. In Australia, Rupert's newspapers make up 2/3 of daily papers, the biggest proportion of any individual in any democracy in the world.
But even saying that, followed by the term democracy, is just farcical.
The Australian Greens secured a Senate inquiry into the Murdoch empire. Former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd was the first witness. Quote, everyone is frightened of Murdoch. There's a culture of fear across the country, and the fear is rationally based. They've seen many cases of individual political leaders and others who have had their characters assassinated through a systematic campaign by the Murdoch media. Lachlan refused to attend, and Rudd called him utterly spineless.
Well, it's true that, because they've allowed it to get to this point, it is personally and professionally an enormous risk to try to take them down or question them.
Yeah, but the other option is fascism.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why intervening in this decades ago is why you do that.
But you still take the hit now.
Totally, yeah.
You take the hit now.
Yeah.
In February 2023, Dominion submitted tons of evidence, including text messages from senior execs and presenters to prove Fox promoted the stolen election conspiracy theory. Fox argued the claims were just newsworthy and protected by the First Amendment. Messages from Rupert said he thought the vote rigging claims were, quote, really crazy and damaging for everybody.
Yeah, but he likes money.
When asked by Dominion's lawyers whether he could have intervened editorially to change Fox's coverage, he said, I could have, but I didn't.
Well, that's good that he's at least becoming honest.
In April 2023, Dominion and Fox settled for $787.5 million.
Which is really
nothing. It's nothing.
It's worth it to do that. That's a good business decision.
Yeah. Fox, quote, we acknowledge the court's rulings find certain claims about Dominion to be false. This settlement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standards.
Oh, my God. Unreal that they can even say that.
The Smartmatic lawsuit is still going through the courts.
The Smartmatic lawsuit.
In May 2023, Rupert fired Tucker Carlson, apparently due to treatment of women after he, quote, used vulgar language to describe a network executive.
So what does it mean if you have a network,
a news, a cunt?
What does it mean if you have a news network where you have to continue to keep firing people for sexual harassment or language abuse?
If everyone you're hiring is a right-wing asshole, then they're going to be right-wing assholes, and it's all going to be abuse and sexual harassment and everything else.
Yeah.
They hate women. I mean, that's like one of the bases for their entire belief system. So former News Corp exec Kim Williams said Fox News closely mirrors Rupert's views on things, and it produces, quote, rivers of gold. But it has created toxicity in the U.S. and the complete degeneration of the whole public square.
Well, that's very concise and true.
Michael Wolff has written 2 Rupert biographies. He said of News Corp, quote, no other public company of its size is such a singular reflection of one man. The board, all men, partly because Rupert believes that women talk too much, may not be the most docile in corporate America, but it is certainly among the most reverential. He claims they generally approve decisions unanimously based on what Rupert wants.
Right. So, democracy.
Wolff, quote, the fundamental currency of the company has always been reward and punishment. Both the New York Post and Fox News maintain enemy lists. We have, quote, we have stuff on him, Murdoch would mutter, about various individuals who I mentioned during my interviews. We have pictures. If you're against him, then you are his enemy and he fights you.
Mm-hmm. You certainly can't make everything that goes on politically now just about Trump, but that's the Trump playbook as a president.
That's a conservative authoritarian playbook.
Yeah, right.
In September 2023, Rupert finally retired, and Lachlan took over, and he remains as chairman emeritus of both companies. In his retirement letter, Rupert complained about elites who run most media, saying they, quote,
get fucked.
Elites.
Who run too much media?
God. Saying they, quote, have open contempt for those who are not members of their rarefied class. Most of the media is in cahoots with those elites.
How great would it be to just beat him to death with a Lenin bust?
Peddling political narratives rather than pursuing the truth.
Oh, man.
They always accuse other people of exactly what they're doing.
It is always doth protest.
The Sun is still boycotted in Liverpool. Cafes and taxis will kick you out if you read it.
That's pretty good.
In 2017, Liverpool Football Club banned journalists from the Sun from its press conferences.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's too late. I mean,
this is the pep talk.
But for America, it's certainly too late. It's too late. And again,
it's too late
the deregulation under Clinton is what led to his power.
Why do you say it's too late? I have my version of that. Why is it too late?
Well, all this stuff was already in place. It's not, you had to stop it before it all got in place. Now, the rich are too powerful, and certainly the technology is way too terrifying.
I also think that because you've sort of co-opted the brains of a strong sect of our population, trying to take that away from them or trying to undo that would be viewed so easy. You would be able to manipulate people into thinking that's an attack, that you're attacking the freedom of the press when you do something like that, when really you're just trying to like suck some of the cancer out of our system.
I don't think people would. I mean, they could rile people up, but if they wanted to put the regulations back in place, I think most people would be like, yeah, it's fine.
I think if you tried to get rid of Fox News,
that's not. I don't think that's what you can get rid of Fox News by undoing the power and the wheel that has through, like, so for instance, Fox News owning stations all over the country.
The Sinclair stuff.
Yeah, they do the same thing with Fox. So you could nip that in the bud. You could nip a lot of these things in the bud, and you could make a difference. You're never going to be able to get rid of Fox News. That's not happening. It's just not. But you can put back in regulations like the FAIR Doctrine and other things that take away their ability to do what they are doing. You neuter it, and then you go after them legally, which is totally doable. I mean, dude, the right wing is always going to flip out and say, "You're taking things away."
When you watch now, like, think about when Biden came into office, and it was like, dude, you got to expand the Supreme Court. You have to, like, these things that have to be done, they won't do because there's a number of reasons.
Right,
but what do you mean?
That's every country, everywhere. That's the right wing.
Yeah.
Even without Murdoch, that's the right wing. But that's the right wing.
But it is just over. I mean, it's like...
It's over. The main reason it's over is because the people who should be fighting them are feckless idiots.
Yeah. And don't do it. There's no... It's also, like we were saying before, if you are going to find these places, it's still a better business. It's like Boeing. Like, why the fuck is Boeing going to change anything if what you're finding them is nothing?
And they're killing people.
And they kill people. But their business model is it's a wiser business model to not undo any of their mistakes and pay you the small fine for what they have done wrong, versus go back versus a recall or a shutdown.
Right.
And that is not even just that's reflected in our media, but that's reflected in basically every
business,
every
sector of America.
Yes.
I mean, the thing with watching the bird flu thing play out, which is like it might not happen, it might happen, but no one's watching it.
No,
the point of the bird flu thing isn't that bird flu is coming. The point of the bird flu thing is nobody's watching.
Yeah, right.
Nobody's doing anything whatsoever.
And if there is a jump, oh fuck.
Yeah, if there's a jump, it's going to be terrible, and it's going to affect the whole world, and it's going to be
crazy.
5,000 times the anger that China got.
Yes,
5,000 times, because we're not really sure what happened with China. There's a lot of this could happen, this could happen.
I believe Fox News reported that it was the dog eating.
It's going to be 100% on us for having absolutely no government doing anything to stop it.
Yeah.
Anything at all. Not remotely, not testing, not having people wear PPE. Absolutely nothing is happening.
Yes.
There's nothing happening.
There's no public
We have
safety.
no idea how spread it is, how anything, and it's just because we're just not a fucking country. We're just a disaster.
We're not. We're a fucking crackhead just trying to get ready for the next hit. We have there's zero. We are simply just doing enough to make sure that the billionaires get as much as they can.
As much as they can. As much as they can.
And that's it. And it really shows you why a guy like Rupert Murdoch is able to thrive in a country like this.
Yeah.
And again, to your point before, the fact that, Rupert Murdoch is a right-wing lunatic enabled by Clinton administration. So no matter who you're supporting, they're evil. It's just, you've probably got your scale of evil, but I mean, truly, like, who are you more mad at? You're mad at the enabler or the enabled?
Well, that's what I always say. Are you mad at the bad evil guy or the guy who betrayed you?
For the bad evil guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
And watching it's what now. Australia's always been like 10 years behind us, and they're right on target.
Oh man, it's really weird when you walk around here because you do go, there's a lot of seeds, a lot of seeds,
a lot of seeds.
It's coming.
Well, they passed their own telecommunications bill 7 8 years ago, so it's all going.
So it's coming.
It's all
it's in process.
Being put into
just
place.
Takes a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you can't ever undo it.
That's right. Sources: Patty Manning, the successor, the high-stakes life of Lachlan Murdoch. Patty Manning, Rupert, the last mogul. There was a podcast. Rodney Tiffin, Rupert Murdoch, reassessment. Tom Roberts, Before Rupert, Keith Murdoch, and the Birth of a Dynasty. Hill, theconversation.com, theguardian.com, fair.org. Nick Davies, Hack Attack, How the Truth Caught Up with Rupert Murdoch, transparency.org, abc.net.au, NBC News, The Guardian, and abc.net.au.
Well, it's pretty cool.
Again, Charlotte George did the research.
All right, everybody.
Good night.
Oh, what's up, Gear Force? That's right. You are the Gear Force, and you love it. I love it, too. Hey, it's Gareth from the Dollop. Listen, I got some stand-up dates. Go to GarethReynolds.com for tickets and information. I'll be in Chattanooga, Tennessee, June 18th. Nashville, June 19th. Huntsville, Alabama, June 20th. Atlanta, Georgia, June 21st, 22nd. Then I'll be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, June 26th. East Providence, Rhode Island, June 27th. Boston, June 28th. 2 shows. Springfield, Massachusetts, June 29th. Rochester, New York, June 30th. And then July 5th through the 6th, I'll be in Canada, in Toronto. Go to GarethReynolds.com for tickets and information. You know we got that Gear Force merch. Come join us. GarethReynolds.com, best shows on earth. That's what everybody says, not me. Gear Force, love you.
Discover Denver's favorite neighborhood. Cherry Creek North is 16 blocks of stylish shops, cool galleries, great eats, and good vibes. It's a place where something wonderful is waiting around every corner. A place where life just feels good. Cherry Creek North. Life is sweet.